Some of my absolute favorite DIYs come from this section right here. I'm Jamie, the Crafty DIY guy. Welcome back to my channel. I'd like to thank Lean for sponsoring today's video. Now for my first DIY, I'm going to take this really cute sign that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I also grabbed this little wooden crate. This came from a store called DIYS. I've had this in my craft stash for a couple years, and I really wanted to use it for this DIY, especially when I found this little plastic jar that I grabbed at Michael's. Now I think this was probably $1, and you can go ahead and remove the lid. You're going to pop that aside because you're actually not going to be using that. This little jar is plastic, and it's going to be absolutely perfect for this DIY. Now I took my crate out, I spray painted it this bright yellow color, and I really loved this yellow because it also pulled out the yellow in the center of the flowers. Go ahead and add some hot glue to the back of your crate. You could certainly do this in just a couple spots. You know me and hot glue, I absolutely love it. Covered it all, glued it right to the back, and we're going to add our little jar, but I'm going to decorate the jar up with a little bit of this gingham ribbon. I really liked the way this looked, and then I did take that jar and I'm going to tie off a little bit of yellow ribbon at the top. How cute and adorable is this little vase? Speaking of adorable, check out this guy right here. Now, if you're wondering where that adorable photo of Mr. Otis, aka my mother's grandchild, came from, then let me introduce you to today's sponsor, the Lean Amber 4x6 photo printer. With Lean, you are able to craft memories one print at a time. And think about this, in a world where memories are often lost in a digital abyss, Lean is here to save the day. And what I love about my Lean printer is that it is really convenient to store in my craft room. I love the compact size. The image quality is excellent, and all of the photos are going to be dust-proof, waterproof, and fingerprint-proof. Now, did I mention that this photo printer is also really, really easy to use over and over and over again? Now, with your Lean Amber 4x6 photo printer, you're going to get everything that you need in one box. The printer, the AC adapter, the paper cassette, the user manual, the cartridge, and 20 sheets of photo paper. It's literally everything that you need to begin crafting in minutes. And I'm telling you, I was able to craft and create in minutes. Now, the setup for this is so easy. If you have an iOS or an Android device, there is a Lean app that you can download. Or if you'd rather use your computer, you can do this via USB or even through your computer's Wi-Fi. Now, the photos are high quality, high resolution photos, and they're true color rendering, which gives your photos superior quality. And there are even a bunch of really fun templates available for you to play with. Now, each photo is printed with an automatic lamination 4-layer technology to prevent your photos from fading, and it's going to keep them good for 100 years. Now, you're also able to connect up to 5 devices at one time via either Wi-Fi or even having it as a hotspot. Can you imagine having this at a party or like a Mother's Day bruncheon where all of your friends can connect and start printing and having their own keepsake? I mean, how cool is that? Now, if the Lean Amber 4x6 photo printer is something that you need in your craft room, then check out this amazing offer on screen and go to the link in my description box for more information. And now let's go back to those DIYs for my favorite person, Mom. Now for this next DIY, I decided to do something special for my mother, and I had those fantastic photos, so why not try and incorporate it into one of these DIYs? Now this great wood tray came from Crafter Square, and I thought that I could make maybe like a little jewelry tray or something for Mom. I'm going to take the tray and just go ahead and trace around the photo. That way I can trim up that photo a little bit so it fits down on the inside of the tray there. The great thing about this photo and the paper that it's printed on is that it's actually really sturdy, and you can cut it really easily just with the regular pair of scissors, and it gives you a lot of flexibility whenever you're kind of doing any kind of DIY or any kind of craft. I personally like to incorporate any kind of personal images that I can, and this photo is going to be great. Now, I did take this tray outside and I spray painted it this metallic silver because I felt like it needed a little bit of a bling, because I know my mom also likes her bling. And then the great thing about this photo is because it does kind of fit right inside there, I can take some spray glue or some spray adhesive and just go ahead and spray that in. I can put my photo in there, and then I have this beautiful little jewelry tray for my mom that I can give her for Mother's Day. Now for this next DIY, I'm going to create something that could be given to mom, but I think I'm going to keep this one for myself. I'm going to go ahead and grab this welcome sign that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I also have these kind of cabinet door pulls. These were in the hardware section. I found them in black. I found them in like a brushed gold and also in silver. So be on the lookout for those. These frames are really, really good. And anytime you can get these types of frames at Dollar Tree, I highly recommend grabbing them because the backs do come out really easily. And also what I do love about this is that it gives you a lot of flexibility when you are doing a DIY, because you could certainly keep the reverse side with the welcome. It's super cute. Why not have it? But then you've also got this plain brown side that you can use for your DIY. So for the drawer pulls, I'm going to go ahead and take these. We're just going to put them on either side of our tray or our frame here. I would recommend using probably like an E6000 or super glue for this. I just used hot glue for the purpose of the DIY video, and so everything would kind of dry a little bit quicker. But again, for long-term use, definitely use like your super glue or your E6000. Now on this cardboard side, I'm going to add a piece of this scrapbook paper. And I love this particular bundle of scrapbook paper because there are so many really fun patterns in there. And I really like that boho pattern, but look at the great variety inside here. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and use this boho one. And I kind of like the way the center of this paper looks versus kind of the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and use the center of it. Don't kill me for wasting all the paper, but it was for the sacrifice of the DIY. So I'm going to go ahead and add some just glue stick onto the back of this. You could certainly use a spray glue if you wanted to, but the spray glue I found kind of took a little while to dry, and I wanted something that was going to be a little quicker. The glue sticks are always super fun for stuff like this, and it does tend to work really, really well for photographs and for like scrapbook paper and everything. So definitely something that's very easy and fun to use. Now, you just want to make sure you have a really, really good coating, obviously like I do here. And then you're just going to take that and you're going to apply it right to your scrapbook paper, and you can see the welcome sign part of that is still intact, which is great. Just kind of hold it in place, let it dry, and then go ahead and just trim it up with your scissors. Once you've trimmed that up with your scissors, you can go ahead and place this right back into your frame. And what's great about this, again, it's so cute, and it gives you lots of flexibility. But I have to say, I'm kind of in love with the boho tray. What do you guys think? Now for this next DIY, I'm going to incorporate these two pieces of wood that I picked up from Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. I'm also going to incorporate a couple of those photos of me and mom. I took these wood pieces and wanted to first just kind of sand them down a little bit. They do come with some rough edges, and you could certainly like use some just scrap wood if you have that around. Go ahead and sand them off, brush them off, get them ready to go. I took mine outside, I spray painted them white, and I'm going to also add these little eye hooks. Now this little kit I did pick up from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put 2 eye hooks onto each piece of wood, kind of like so. And the great thing about this wood is because it is kind of soft, you can literally just kind of screw these in here. Very, very easy to do. This is a great DIY for anybody that's just kind of starting out. Super easy just to add these. Now, once I've got them all added, we're going to go ahead and brush them off a little bit. And then it's time to add our photos, but we want to make sure that we're going to be connecting these right, because remember, we are going to be using these beads. And with the photos, I want to pull away these white edges, and the way to do this is just to bend over this white area. You will notice there's a perforated edge here. It makes it really easy to trim up these photos and get them ready for DIYs. And speaking of DIYs, I'm going to be using my glue stick. So This kind of gives you the idea of what we're going to be doing here, but I'm going to take my glue stick again, and I'm just going to rub it on the back of these photos. And what's really great about this, again, is that this glue stick doesn't run through, it doesn't bleed through the photos or anything like that. You can literally just kind of start going back and forth and then apply these to your pieces of wood. Now for those wood beads that I grabbed, those green and white beads, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pick off some of the beads that I like. I like to kind of keep my beads on the strand if I can. And what's great about doing it kind of this way is that I can kind of take what I want off and then I can tie the rest of them in a knot and then they stay together. I'm going to take a piece of twine that's a little bit thinner than what I was working with before. And we are just going to start to thread those beads onto our twine. Now these beads do have a pretty decent size hole, so these are not quite as difficult to thread as some of the beads can be. And then as we do that, as you can see, I'm kind of like looping it through one of the eye hooks, and then I'm going to kind of loop it back through the beads because I want to make this hanger be able to hold both of these frames, and I do want the twine to be pretty sturdy. I wasn't comfortable just kind of using one piece of twine on either side of this because of course I want to protect the pictures of me and my mommy. So go ahead and just thread up your beads and then double up your strings kind of like you see, and you're going to do this on both sides of your frame. So once I've got that all set, I'm going to go ahead and then tie these two frames together. So you can kind of see why I put the eye hooks on the kind of opposite sides of the frame, because I'm creating kind of a wall hanging here. So once you've got kind of both pieces of twine through, you can then kind of tie them off with the other piece of twine on each side. And that's really good because this is also going to help you kind of keep everything together. And you know me, I don't paint the backs of stuff if I don't have to. So with this one, I definitely did not paint the backs of these because it's going to be hanging against the wall, right? Feel free and paint yours if you want to. Remember, these are DIYs, so you can do it your way. So once you've kind of got your beads all tied off, then you are going to very easily just add some additional beads to the top of your frame set. Now, you can do this in a couple different ways. You could certainly staple it or use a combination of hot glue and staples. And that's kind of what I did because this is pretty thick wood. And you see here, I've got a beautiful wall hanging for my mother that I'm going to be sending her for Mother's Day. All right, you guys, that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below which projects were your favorite. Also, I want to thank our sponsor today, Lean, the Lean Amber 4x6 photo printer. This is such a cool printer and I absolutely love it. I want you to get one as well. So check out this offer again on screen and then definitely check out that link in my description box. All right, you guys, until next time, I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.